huge chilies. This is longer than my arm. Look at the size of this thing.
Today is the 6th of October 2024. The growing season is coming to its end and the weather is starting to get very cold. In today's video, we will show you how to protect your chili plants over the winter. We will show you how to put your chili plants to sleep so that they wake up next season ready to produce lots of chilies for you. We will show you how to overwinter your chili plants.
And give you a full tour of the garden. And we have many vegetables to harvest and we'll harvest them as we go along.
Hello everyone and Assalamu alaikum. If you're new to our channel, I'm Akibullah.
I'm Ali Raja. Assalamu alaikum.
So without further ado, Dad, let's start gardening.
Let's start gardening. Now we're going to harvest all the chilies, and Akib's going to show you how to overwinter your chili plant. Look at the amount of chilies. Huge chilies.
Chili plants are perennial plants. They come back every year. This plant is a Trinidad scorpion, extremely hot chilies. So I'm going to try saving this plant. In order to successfully overwinter your chili plants, you need to harvest all your chilies first. Once you have harvested all the chilies from your plant, in order to successfully overwinter your plant, you need to prune your plant and remove most of the branches. Let me show you how to identify which branches to remove. This is the main stem of the plant over here. We want to keep this main stem. Over here we have other side stems. We don't want to keep these, we're going to remove these. Like these little things over here, we just pinch these off. Over here we have a node. This is the biggest node. This is where all the branches start to separate. As you can see, they're starting to go in different ways. This is the biggest node of the plant. Every time you cut a branch, you want to cut it above the node, at least 1 inch above. So over here, I'm going to cut this branch over here. Above this node over here, I'm going to cut it. This stem over here we won't need, so I'm just going to cut this as close as the node as possible. So we have the main stem over here. We've removed all the side stems at the bottom. So we have the node over here. So I'm going to cut this branch just right above this node. Right over here. This branch I'm going to cut just over here. Now this one, as you can see, there's a node over here, so I'm just going to cut it a little bit above. I'm going to remove this. Once you have pruned your chili plant, it should look something like this. So we have the main step going up here, and we have the first node over here and 2 branches separating. So ideally you want to create 3 V shapes above a node. This is the first node over here, and we have created our first V shape. The second node is over here, and we have created the second V shape. And this is the third node. We created the third V shape. So it should look something like this. Now this needs to be taken indoors. Leave this in a room where it's not getting direct sunlight. If this gets direct sunlight, the plant will start growing again. And at this stage, you don't want the plant to grow. You want it to go into a dormant stage, a sleeping stage. And you want it to wake up next season when it's ready to start growing again. And when watering, water very little. Water every 3 to 4 weeks. You just want the soil to stay moist. If you water too much, then the roots will start to rot. It's not very practical to take a container this size inside your house. It will take up too much space. So the best option is to take out the root ball, wash out all the compost, and plant the root ball into a smaller container with fresh compost. Let me show you how to do that. We have removed all the soil from the root ball, so now you can just see it's just roots. The roots look very nice and healthy. We're going to bury this root ball in this small container over here. It's much more practical to go inside your house. First, fill up the container with some soil, probably up to here. Now this can go inside your house. Leave this in room temperature, keep it away from direct sunlight, and every 3 to 4 weeks, just give it some water, just to keep the soil moist. You don't want to soak the soil, otherwise the roots are going to start to rot. Hopefully next year, this plant will be ready and it will start growing straight away and it will produce lots of chilies for you.
We had a great season with ash gourd, and sadly the plants are starting to die now. It's time to harvest all my ash gourd and remove all the plant and get the soil ready for the next season. Now it's sad for me to remove this plant now. I'm going to cut the stem right at the bottom without disturbing the root and get the soil ready for next season. It's time to clean up the garden. This plant is producing lots of ash gourd and I have many to harvest. This is one of our sponge gourd, and this plant I must say is a very resilient plant, still producing flowers. Oh, that's a huge harvest. Our bitter gourd plant is still producing lots of bitter gourd. And the plant is looking good. I'm going to leave this plant to carry on for the next few weeks. And if the plant starts to die off, then I'll cut the plant down. But until then, I'm going to leave the plant. It's still producing lots of bitter gourd for us. So as you can see, it's still producing. I'm not sure whether they will get any bigger because of the cold weather, but I'm going to leave them on for a little longer, these ones. If they grow, they will grow. But the plant looks really nice and healthy. Now, would you believe it, I have bottle gourd, hodu, still growing on the plant, but I can see it's starting to rot. So they're not going to survive. They're not going to survive. So hopefully next week I'm going to clean the garden. I'm going to remove all these plants and get the garden ready for next season. Now tomatoes, lots of tomatoes in the plant. Now many of them has ripened already, but these ones are starting to ripe. I can see starting to get reddish. If your tomato hasn't ripened, you can ripe them inside. You could cut the vine and put them in a cardboard box with a banana, and hopefully within a week or two they should ripe. Now look at the size of this bitter gourd. My God, this is probably the longest, the biggest bitter gourd of the season. This is longer than my arm. Look at the size of this thing. This is huge. And I have another huge one here. This is a little shorter than the other one, but they're both huge. This is huge. Let me show you the length of this bitter gourd. It's longer than my arms, look. Longer than my arm. This is a monster bitter gourd. Huge. Oh no, this is a huge harvest. Look at the size of this monstrous bitter gourd. Now I really hope you enjoyed watching the videos. And if you have, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to share the video with friends and family.
As you know, sharing is caring. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do something amazing and hit that subscribe button. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload. Stay safe, Assalamu alaikum. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Happy gardening. Assalamu alaikum, and I'll see you in the next one.
Look how many cameras we have. This is amazing.
Yes, this is a huge harvest.